Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan, and I've really got a great video for you tonight. And we're going to start it off with Ripple getting voted as one of the fastest growing companies in the United States. Check this out. They have a ranking of 2,456 with a 236% growth. The industry is crypto and blockchain, and you can see they are still located in San Francisco, California. I think it's extra sweet they received this ranking, especially since the SEC has been trying to pull them under. And something to point out here, this is really fantastic. It's going to be fantastic for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people around the world. The startup company Heirloom has raised $8 million, led by Ripple Labs and Forte Labs. It is a project that is built on the XRP ledger, and wait for it here now, no coding required for these public-facing branded storefronts to distribute NFTs. This is an example that XRP and the ledger is for the world. It is not just for the financial institutions. The main focus of this video is about 5 minutes of a 30-minute panel that took place in Hong Kong on the 10th of August, where Brooks Entwistle, the APAC director, who is overseeing so much activity with the on-demand liquidity, which is building out in Southeast Asia, he had just some really wonderful things to say about the company Ripple, about the industry, and of course about the digital assets being used in remittances. So we're going to cover that, but first I want to just show you one more thing that I think is worthy of a mention. Finovate Fall 2022 is an event that happens in New York in September, and there's going to be a sneak peek demo by Linqto. This is the web mobile app offering immediate access and settlement of private equity shares with the ability to get liquidity for shares purchased at any time. And as you know, this new exchange is being built on the XRP ledger. Now, I know a lot of you feel a little bit bad when you hear some Linqto news because you feel, and I totally agree with you, that it is unfair and it is not a level playing field for those who want to invest in private equity. Well, there are 4 bills right now that are being introduced, and one that I think has a real chance is by the U.S. Congressman French Hill. He is serving the 2nd District of Arkansas, and let me just show you what he is proposing. His bill would expand the definition of the accredited investor, allowing Americans who have relevant education, professional experience, or other similar credentials to invest in private offerings. He uses a great example here. He said that a practicing doctor should be able to invest in a telehealth business, or a farmer should be able to invest in a tractor company, as long as the investor can demonstrate knowledge and experience in the field. So show him some support and tell him that he needs to keep this bill alive. And if it dies, please reintroduce another one. If you are already accredited, I want to let you know that Linqto added Figment to their platform today. And this is one of the world's leading providers of blockchain infrastructure. It's their mission to empower investors and developers to build the Web 3.0, the very next generation of the internet. So it is, I think, a very good choice, and I'll have a link to the platform in the description of this video below. Now let's get to the 4 clips that I took from a 30-minute panel. The first clip is where it is talking about Ripple finding a real use case for XRP Ledger and XRP. And early on, the big financial institutions were not ready to take on crypto solutions, but Ripple went ahead and built the fast-moving payments company using the PSPs, that's the payment service providers, and fintechs. And in the second clip, it talks about tokenizing carbon credits. As a retail investor, I think you should pay attention to companies that are bringing this solution to market because I think there is a great growth opportunity. In clip 3, we learned that remittances is a $750 billion market. And check this out, something new that I learned, BKK Forex. At the 2-minute and 51-minute mark, they are an ODL adopter. In clip 4, the co-founder of High, Sean Roch, he is on the panel and talks about Ripple being on the forefront. And then finally, it finishes with Brooks saying he loves the genie is out of the bottle and we're not going back. Have a listen.
Thank you so much. It's great to be a part of this super exciting panel. We have been at this for a decade, and we really started out at the very beginning with trying to find use cases, real world use cases for these digital assets. The XRP ledger, XRP, and Ripple, the company, was built separately from the ledger and the token, of course, to find those use cases. And very early on, from the very beginning, we settled on the notion of moving value across borders. And moving payments, moving flows, and doing that in a frictionless way, which candidly is one of the great last financial services problems to be solved globally and needing to be solved. We went out and started to talk to big financial institutions initially and realized they were not ready at that point for crypto and crypto solutions, and went on and built a network around, yes, those big financial institutions, but also fast-moving PSPs and fintechs.
All of you, how do you see the blockchain technology benefiting and changing traditional finance systems?
What can we do? But the underlier and the need for that is, how do we get financial services deeper into our populations, to unbanked populations, and get the services out there? I lived for years in India in a previous life, and the financial services breakthrough there, if you think about the notion of a digital identification number for all of that population and the ability that gives the government to get services out there. And that's, I think, the blockchain technology around it. We're also doing work around carbon credits, which is another very interesting market with all kinds of issues around it. But blockchain applicability and tokenizing of carbon credits, we think on our blockchain or others, has real opportunity as well. So we're very excited, away from all the noise and hype and every conference and other activities that are going on around the world. There's real businesses being built. And I think we're just, to your earliest question about paradigm shift, we're finding these in almost all of these applications. I'll take a crack at this because this is just one of the great opportunities. And I think where we see just a huge use case for this movement of value across borders. The remittance market, while it did stall a bit during the COVID, is projected to continue to grow. It's a $750 billion market. That money that is sent across borders, as we've all seen from living in this region, is often done at usurious rates of 6-7%. It takes days to arrive, if it does at all. That money leaves workers' hands that have worked hard for that money, and their family needs it on the other end quickly. Just yesterday, I went down to Lucky Plaza in Singapore with a lady that is close to our family. Emergency need in the Philippines. We went to BKK Forex, which is a RippleNet partner, an ODL adopter as well. And that payments transferred over RippleNet through BKK Forex. Again, just the ability to have certainty. This was a hospital bill on the other end, and you just can't afford to have that go lost in 4 days, nor take 7% out of it. So this is a great one, and we're excited about what we're doing.
The great work that Ripple's done with a number of its partners, but I would say some of those partners are some of the people that have been my clients in the past, and I've looked at their balance sheets, and I've seen what they make off of the hardest working people in the world, and it's actually sickening. But I would also extend it to the whole financial services network. You and I go to transfer money from Hong Kong to the UK. It's going to be lost in space for three to 4 business days. It's going to cost £25. That is insane in today's day and age. The last time I checked, it is 2022. It's not 1980. So I think from that perspective, the systems and those things, from what I can detect, yes, I've worked inside a financial services firm. They're actually using digital technology. The money is not, being put on a ship and moved. the money is instantly transferred from Hong Kong to London and sits on their balance sheet earning interest for them, not for us. So I think changing that whole idea, and Ripple has been really at the forefront of this.
I first landed in Hong Kong in 1991 as a young investment banker, and the markets, early markets, whether I was in equities, fixed income, many of these geographies weren't even open. These markets were still incredibly volatile. There were issues and crashes and all these events along the way. And so fast forward to this crypto decade, if you will, that we've all been involved in around digital assets. And we've had several downturns during this time already. We've all learned, this whole panel has been through these, and we learn a little bit more each time. And I love the notion the genie is out of the bottle, because this is not going back. We're getting a little bit better every time. And one thing I would say, which I think is we've learned, whether or not you were in e-commerce at one point, Web 2.0, or you're in Web 3.0 now, this is an amazing time to build. And whether or not there's fantastic talent available, there's fantastic opportunities potentially on the M&A front or investment fronts. But you got to be incredibly focused on what you're after, and limit the chasing of bright, shiny things, and do with everything that we're doing from a mission standpoint, that Ripple and the other companies on this panel, I think we're all doing this. And that's how you succeed during these dips. There will be another one. But what you do during the downturn, I think, differentiates you long term.